It's time to run, gun, and have some fun. Welcome to the first episode of Build a Better Hunter. There's no denying it. Fatalis took a good look at the Raging Bracky Furious Monkey meta and completely blew it away with armor chock full of slots, useful skills, and overpowered set bonuses. As well as weapons with so much raw attack power, even Elder Dragons will scurry away in fear. The exception to these weapons is, unfortunately, the Light Bowgun, which carries a nasty negative 30% affinity and attack power noticeably lower than both of Rajang's hand cannons. But all is not lost. With 4 pieces of Fatalis armor, hunters unlock all skill caps, extra health and stamina for free, and the same true spare shot bonus that used to be limited only to subpar Nargacuga armor. With all these new damage and comfort skills to add on to new sets, I wanted to share the builds that I use in my hunts that run the gamut from near meta to meme-worthy fun.
I'm feeling unstoppable!
Hit the bricks, pal, you're done!
There's something in here for everyone, but full disclosure, since Fatalis is an in-game monster, these sets will not be cheap. You will see many rare attack, expert, and release decorations that you may or may not have in your collection. If you're lacking, get to decoration hunting on those tempered Elder Dragons. For simplicity's sake, these will be in order of the primary ammo type used throughout a hunt. Check out the link in the description to see all these builds for yourself, and to tweak them if needed. All of the following sets use Fatalis' headpiece, because negating stun from monster attacks is a seriously underrated skill, compared to other builds focusing on Arch-Tempered Velkhana's coalescing headpiece. First up is the boring but reliable normal ammo by way of the Taroth Blitz support. Damage numbers upwards of 200 per burst of rapid fire normal 2 are common on tenderized, agitated weak spots, and with true spare shot on a clip size of 8, you'll rarely be reloading. The long barrel mod helps in multiplayer if the monster isn't locked down in one place by your team, but if playing solo, feel free to sub the long barrel for another close range mod, and one of the coalescence decorations for the shaver skill. Divine Blessing level 5 and Guts helps prevent one-shot cards in this build, and with access to all status ammos, you'll have even more options to keep a monster under control. If you prefer a little more punch, it's time to step up to single shot normal 3 ammo. In this lane you have 2 options. For normal 3 and pretty much only normal 3, stick with Rajang's 10,000 volts, often capable of damage in the mid 200s per shot. You're limited to slow reload speed here, so be careful when you decide to hunker down for more shots. For a little more flexibility in both your ammo choices and comfort, take a look at the guild's Royal Surefire shot. This build gives access to another shot of normal 3, slicing ammo, and all status ammos too. With full evade extender, you'll have an easier time getting out of harm's way. Finally, what was once relegated to a useless niche, Raging Bracky's rapid-fire normal 3 Lightbreak Gun shines with Fatalis armor. Though still limited to high recoil, evade reloading, and a small clip size of 2, this build puts out insane damage, while max evade extender lets you slip and slide across any arena. 100% affinity on tenderized and agitated weak spots is easy with mantles too, but once you nail timing on your 550 plus damage bursts combined with true spare shot, you'll be hooked on the stun locking potential. Up next is spread ammo, for the times you want to get up close and personal with your quarry. For spread 2 and its 5 pellets per shot, hunters have a couple useful options. With Safi's Frostshot, you can run peak performance without worrying about a health regeneration augment thanks to Nergigante's Haste and Recovery set bonus. This build gets 100% affinity on tenderized and agitated weak spots, with reliable and decent damage over time. Mantles can give you a bit more attack here, but with 9 shots of spread 2 combined with true spare shot, any monster near you is going to eat a lot of pellets quickly. For those wanting to roleplay a burst fire AA-12, Fatalis' own Light Bowgun doesn't disappoint with rapid fire spread 2. This set reaches 100% affinity on tenderized and agitated weak spots as well, and adding maximum evade extender with some evade window skills thrown in, it's pretty easy to stay on top of a monster and dodge away when needed. You'll rely on coalescence instead of peak performance or health regeneration here, so bring along nullberries and keep an eye on your health. Spread 3 ammo ups the pellets to 7 per shot, and Frostfang Barrios Blizzard Gust is the best light bowgun for the job. This build gives hunters some chunky damage combined with high evasion, which is necessary when locked into slow reload speed. The hurt you'll be shooting out with this gear very closely approaches heavy bowgun numbers, especially if you activate coalescence often. If you're fighting a large and slow monster, Pierce ammo can be quite devastating. Personally, I don't use Pierce on light bowguns much, but when I do, I default again to the Black Dragon's Fatalis Depths with Rapid Fire Pierce 2. This set doesn't have much in the way of evasion skills, but with Pierce, you shouldn't really be on top of the monster anyway. Ammo up level 3 gives another shot of status ammos, just like in the Rapid Fire Spread 2 build, so use them as needed to lock down monster movements. 100% affinity is only possible with your cat's Choral Orchestra or an affinity booster, but 95% affinity normally on tenderized and agitated weak spots is more than enough. Moving on to stickies, Safi's Aquashot got a huge boost thanks to True Spare Shot built into Fatalis' armor. Now you can very easily reach the sticky damage cap while still having room for maximum KO potential and a bit of evasion. Just don't forget to put on a long barrel mod and keep your health topped off for consistently powerful explosions. When fighting Alatreon or other monsters with good elemental hit zones, it's still effective to equip Safi Jiva's armor while running Alatreon's own Light Bowgun. However, at the cost of a tiny bit of damage, you can run 2 pieces of Fatalis armor to get maximum Divine Blessing. This skill alone can help prevent unnecessary carts due to the self-hurt mechanic of Safi's armor. When you activate Coalescence here, it approaches the damage output of 5-piece Safi, so keep those nullberries handy. Adjust the elemental attack jewels and bowgun mods as needed to get the ammo you need powered up along with low recoil. Technically, Safi's Aquashot is slightly better for water ammo, but the Alatreon Dominator can load up any of the other elemental ammos if you run out of your primary ammo in a hunt. With all the main damage dealing sets out of the way, let's take a look at some more fun and specialized builds. Status gunning is now surprisingly viable thanks to the slots in Fatalis' armor. In Taroth's Kjarr Blitz Claw doesn't disappoint with its built-in critical status bonus. This set shines in multiplayer, and especially in duo hunts if you coordinate. The general flow of battle is to flint shot once or twice, tenderize the head, paralyze, poison, sleep, then flint shot again to repeat the cycle. After the second round of status activations, the Apothecary Mantle will help boost you to an easy third round. It isn't worth pursuing 4th procs of any status, especially with the high thresholds in 4-player hunts, but with acceptable damage from Rapid Fire Normal 2, you can still contribute to the hunt's end. Eating for Feline Specialist is important for this build to work even better. Slicing ammo is somewhat useful now, but it is still more for fun than anything else. Frostfang's Blizzard Gust provides a good compromise that does high damage for slicing, and can still put out some solid damage with Spread 3 when you run out of slash berries. If you want to fully embrace the crits though, Fatalis' Light Bowgun and its silly rapid fire slicing provides some fun that can get pretty crazy if True Spare Shot decides to go wild. This build is only viable if you can proc Fortify twice, so don't try it in multiplayer unless you're messing around in the Guiding Lands. After all these builds, I have to bring us back to the opening clip and the madness that is Wyvernblast counter mines. When timed right, they trigger a much more powerful explosion than a normal mine planted in the ground, and have an even higher chance to flinch or stagger a monster. With damage output solely tied to raw damage values, we come back to 10,000 volts for 2 variants. The first sacrifices a bit of damage potential from normal 3 ammo to allow for faster mine recharging. This build is safe to use in multiplayer hunts, and it's particularly fun when you pair up with another Wyvernblast counter user for more explosive shenanigans. However, I've saved the best for last if you want to get really crazy solo or in the Guiding Lands. With Heroics and Fortify, the damage cap is reached on Wyvernblast countermines after a monster becomes agitated. With level 6 defense boost and maximum Divine Blessing, your 1700 plus defense value can actually tank some attacks even in the Heroics threshold. Damage done to monsters ranges anywhere from the low 700s to mid 800s depending on its fire resistance. Sadly, and oddly, you cannot boost damage with fire attack skills. Don't get too carried away though. Often a monster will still attack straight through an explosion, and your end will look something like this. But that's all for this episode of Build a Better Hunter. I'd like to welcome all of the over 100 new subscribers that hopped on board after my Fatalis craft guide. It's great to have you. If you've never tried Light Bowgun before, I hope this video gives you some inspiration to give it a go.
I am heavy weapons guy. And this is my weapon. Can I some more?